Okay, welcome to Reel Demos. What we have here is a Hardex. I believe this started out actually as one of Alcock's designs. If you buy one of the very old vintage Alcock's reels, it looks almost identical to this. So I think Hardy must have bought the patent of a design from Alcock's, and they made these for quite a while. And this is actually a Hardex #1 Mark III. The number means that there's a number 2, 3, possibly a 4 where the reels are larger and more complicated. It's essentially a little threadline spinning reel, and this is the Mark III, and there's obviously there's a Mark 1 and a Mark II. Now obviously the way that it typically works is typically like an old reel. You wind it and it winds on, and a lot of early reels had pretty much what they call a half bail arm, which is what you see there, and this is like the very first evolution of catching the line. The reels that are even earlier than this, they don't even have a bail arm. What you do is you cast with it open, and then you bring the line over with your hand and you hook it over a hook, which is interesting. So this is actually in itself an evolution of the earlier type of reel where you used a hook instead of a bail arm. And this is the first attempt at an automatic kind of bail arm. So what you see here on the front here, this is basically the drag lever. Just under here there are some drag washers, and if you tighten it up, you can see it stiffens up the drum there, and if you loosen it off, the line can wind off when the fish comes on. And I'll just show you quickly. These drums, they're not sort of automatically interchangeable in the way that modern ones are, but you can change them over. So you can see here, what you've got there is the mechanism. You can see how it moves there. Just there you can see on the brass there, there's a little iron pin. It's the iron pin that holds the whole thing together, and if you want to take the reel apart, you have to knock that iron pin out. Typically this is very characteristic of Hardy, to put things in a sort of riveted kind of a way, rather than using screws and nuts and bolts. They did put things together quite cheaply, Hardy, which is a strange one. So you can change these drums if you want different types of line on these. The drums can be changed, and then you've got various drag washers which go onto the drum. Let's just show you. So there's a spring washer here which gives you a bit of tension, and then there's a slotted washer which has got a matching slot, and these are quite close fitting, so it can be quite tricky to remove them sometimes. So if you're doing this kind of reel and the drum's not coming off, then you can often find that it's actually, if you just get these washers out, the close fitting washers out, they'll come off a lot better. So that's your drag lever, and then the screw goes in the end there just to stop it coming out. Now it was a big problem particularly in the 70s when I remember, but probably earlier too, you know, that handles used to break, and you often find these Hardex reels with a bent or basically a broken handle. So you can lift the handles off, and it does reveal the cogs underneath, but not much else. And there's also a cam here, but you can lift the handle out, and in order to store the reel in your bag so it doesn't get bashed. But it's always a good idea with this type of spool pin fishing reel, where there's a spool pin going through the centre. They still make versions of this today, of course. The open cast spinning reels that you see, these are all spool pin reels, and they all have the same fault too. If you drop the reel on the front, it knackers the pin, it bends the pin, or it damages the pin in some way, and then the reel can't be used very well. What happens essentially is that this drum is a very close fit with the outside drum and if you bang the spool and it goes off center, then you get chick chick, which is where the drum goes chick 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 when it spins around. And that's a classic problem with this type of reel, and also with center pin reels too, actually, especially the cage type of reel. So there you go, a beautiful little hardy Hardex. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.